Hashtag recast T'Challa had been trending for a little bit. So I wanted to make a video and talk about maybe why this is happening, why people on Twitter are very for the idea of recasting T'Challa, and why some people probably aren't. First things first, that Black Panther trailer, Wakanda Forever, when that came out during Comic-Con, I thought it was amazing. I thought it looked beautiful, and I thought it told a great story, just in the song choice and the way that the images were laid out. That this movie is going to be emotional, that this movie is going to hit different. I am looking forward to it, which is surprising because I was nervous about this movie, I'll admit. When I heard about the issues, the amount of times that Ryan Coogler had to rewrite the script, some of it obviously not his fault, things just happened, but it had me worried to think that, man, this movie might be a mess. This could fall apart. This could be a film that is really disappointing. In the trailer, you see that the Chadwick Boseman tribute is real, and they give it to you. Just the images of even seeing Chadwick's picture. Chadwick Boseman was a great actor, and he was a great T'Challa. I loved him as T'Challa. I would not have thought to cast anyone else as this character. He brought that level of regalness to the performance. You bought him as royalty, as the king of Wakanda, the king of this nation. I love the fact that he helped with all the other actors. He led the charge to presenting a black character in this regal-like state, and it wasn't a joke. It was taken serious, and it was widely accepted to the masses. You know, this wasn't just something that the comic book fans who already knew the story and already know this character's background, even people that weren't following the MCU 100% were able to jump on board and get with this movie because of the black pride, because of the cultural pride that first film brought. And so to treat this movie as a tribute to a fallen actor, a fallen man that was helping to lead the charge for the future of the Marvel movies, you can't deny how much Chadwick meant to this role. You can't deny how much important it was for Chadwick to be as good as he was. Maybe you can argue that when everyone was talking so much high on Michael B. Jordan as Killmonger and how amazing he was, that we took Chadwick for granted because we had already met him in Captain America Civil War, and we just expected him to be as good as he was because he was. The loss of him, I think if you had just recasted him and almost just pretended oh yeah, it sucks that he died, but we're going to move on. The train keeps going. The show must move on. There is a sense of callous to that, you know? It feels like man, can we stop to mourn somebody who essentially gave their life doing something that they love and to give us, the fans, something that we love? And also, can you imagine being that new actor? Can you imagine being whoever you can think of? It could be the best up-and-coming or established black actor that you can think of, somebody that probably could deserve the part or could make the part as meaningful. You would not help but to compare how well this guy is to Chadwick. You would constantly say, oh man, that was good, but if Chadwick had done it, if Chadwick was here, or how would Chadwick have delivered that line instead? The whole reason why the recast T'Challa trend has started is because people love the character, not even just regarding Chadwick Boseman, who people love, but the character itself, whether you're just going off of the movies and the potential that character had, or if you're coming from the comics and you know what this character goes on to do in the books and you are hoping to see some of that on film. We won't get that now, right? You won't get to see him as the king of Wakanda, at least not anymore. How great was it that In movies like Avengers Infinity War, when the heroes need help, they go to Wakanda and you see the king, you see the leader, and it's T'Challa. Later on in the comics, we're supposed to have moments where Namor, who will be the villain of Wakanda Forever, how great would it have been to see T'Challa and Namor meet for the first time, interact with each other, have maybe a falling out, have their disagreements, go to war. And now we don't get that. Are we really never going to get T'Challa and Namor interacting? So many other Black Panther villains as well, we never got to see T'Challa go up against. So believe me, I understand tremendously. I understand how much it sucks to lose T'Challa as a character. He is a great character. He is an important character. He does mean just as much to Marvel as a Tony Stark or Steve Rogers or Peter Parker, especially to his culture and the people that look up to him. So yes, it does suck. I do feel like there could be a workaround, though. I do feel like there could be a resolution to this. Some people think that maybe Michael B. Jordan is in that costume at the very end of the trailer. I do not think so. I would be very surprised. The more likely candidate is probably his sister Shuri. And I know some people will say, well, oh, Shuri became Black Panther in the comics, so it's fine. Let's be real. Shuri wore the costume for like a second. Maybe if you work it to where she only puts the costume on for the end battle, but it's not as if she literally becomes Black Panther going forward. I think that's the best case scenario. Given the controversy with Letitia Wright and the controversial stuff that she said online, I think it's best that we don't put this franchise's weight on her shoulders. I personally would wait until Secret Wars. We already know that Avengers Secret Wars is coming. And in Secret Wars, you're going to have many different multiverses and universes come together, collide together. How perfect would it be if that's where you bring in a new actor to play T'Challa? So it's not as if we're recasting our T'Challa. It's not as if we're recasting the T'Challa that we've been through all of these events, that we've seen in the movies, and that has gone through the stuff that we've seen him gone through. No, this will be a brand new T'Challa from a whole different universe, a whole new history, so that way he can also look different, act different, make the character more of his own. And maybe, just maybe, it's not as much of a comparison. The audience is now trained to know that different versions of the same character can exist. And so, thus, Wakanda Forever can still be your tribute to Chadwick and his version of T'Challa. And in the future, given a couple more years to be able to be okay also with somebody else playing this character. So guys, let me know in the comments below, what do you think of my idea of recasting T'Challa, how we can make it work without hopefully seeming disrespectful, without upsetting anyone that was close to Chadwick. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Later.